don't hear a female voice ever.
Oh, I'd love to. I don't. Other than Mom when we were talking and stuff. I really don't. We've got female officers here, but it's not the same.
No, it's not.
But I really, honestly, Tony, if you knew me, if you really knew my heart, I'm a romantic guy that loves being in love. And yeah, I just miss that so very much.
Now, when you're interacting with a female guard,
yeah,
are they friendly to you, or do they treat you like?
No, I never have a problem.
No.
I'm a nice, polite guy. No, I never have a problem. These are most of the ladies who work here are very professional, so they don't make judgments. They don't, they're not, they don't get disrespected, so they don't disrespect back. They're not anything like that, and stuff. And it's not big interaction, it's not big interaction and stuff. I don't spend time talking to them, and I don't talk to them unless they say something to me, or unless they're passing out mail or whatever and stuff. Yeah.
Now,
and all I usually see is the uniform.
Yeah.
What I usually see is just a uniform.
Do guards ever talk to you about your case?
No.
About what happened to you?
I don't let them. It's off limits.
Oh, what do you say? I'm curious. To them.
I just say I'm not talking about it. I have no desire to discuss it, and I'm not talking about it. They apologize usually and go away.
Oh,
yeah,
that's cool to know. Yeah.
I refuse. Yeah, absolutely refuse.
Do you speak
the ones who've known me a long time and who are professional and have learned to respect me because I respect them and stuff, have never brought up anything about me.
Hey, you murder phoniacs. That includes you.
Thank you.
This is your host, Tony Ciaglia, the serial killer whisperer. And this, folks, is my co-host, the Coxman. Shit, at his age, we should all be fortunate to look half as good as him.
Oh, God bless you.
I'm sure
Thank you, Tony.
A lot of our listeners would agree. We're back. Yes, we're back. We promised you we'd be back with Bianchi. We have fans all over the world who are looking forward to us returning.
To Kennith
Bianchi. This is November 1977, and it would become one of the most terrifying months in LA history. The Hillside Stranglers, Angelo Buono, and Kennith Bianchi were about to embark on a killing spree that would have the women of Los Angeles in a panic. The little girls were hiding in their Hollywood bungalows. You see, murder and madness had arrived in the city of night. The Stranglers would claim 6 victims during that horrific November nightmare in 1977.
Before we get into the nightmare, Tony, could we please cover the phone call that you opened with?
Yeah.
The nice guy, Mr. Romantic.
Exactly. See, ladies, before he kills you, at least he's romantic. That's hysterical. It's hysterical to listen to.
Yeah. And we put up photos on YouTube because it's so ridiculous what he's saying to Tony. So we put up Ken and Angelo, how they looked during this November nightmare. And we put up a picture of the kill house, Angelo's upholstery shop where they did most of the killings.
You know, I wonder.
So Mr. Wonderful.
I wonder if, like before, they raped him and tortured him and choked him out.
Yeah.
Like, did they have rose petals, like champagne glasses?
He's a romantic. You heard him.
He's a romantic.
I'm
exactly.
sure they did.
You know me, Tony. I'm romantic.
He loves being in love. Did you hear him?
Yes.
If you really knew me, you'd know I love being in love, and he misses that the most. He never had love. I mean, was it this? He loved to do that.
Isn't that a load of shit?
It's just incredible. Well, it just shows what a piece of shit, bullshit, or liar he is.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. Hey, he never had problems with the female guards. They respected him. I respected them. Now, you know that's a bunch of shit, too, because they looked at him like he was dog shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and if you've ever been to a prison before, take a look at the female guards.
Do they look like the type that would be apologizing to Ken? Or asking him for permission to talk about his case?
Yeah, it's off limits. So. It's off limits.
Now, we've been to both prisons. We've been to female prisons. We have been to male prisons. And the female guards, I mean, they are serious.
They don't fuck around.
Not at all.
Exactly.
But she did. She would apologize to Ken and just walk away. Isn't that what he said? Because they had a lot of respect for me. And they knew
it was
my case was off limits. Back to Bianchi, right? We figured we'd start you out with something good.
Exactly.
That was typical Ken.
Some real bullshit.
Yes. Yeah. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, which you should be, because we're going to have some interesting pictures, you'll see pictures of the girls before and after these animals got done with them. And I just wanted to warn everybody, if you are watching, it's graphic. Some of the photos are very graphic because they're crime scene. Lissa Kastin, 21 years old, was murdered on November 6th, 1977, making her the third victim of the Hillside Stranglers. Lissa was a dancer and waitress working in North Hollywood. She was a performer and one of the 5 founding members of the L.A. Knockers, a female cabaret dance ensemble that was very popular back in the 70s and 80s in Los Angeles. And you'll see a picture of her in her L.A. Knocker shirt with 2 of the other girls. Just 21-year-old nice girl trying to make it. She had made a comment to her mother that she was thinking of turning to prostitution to try and make some extra money. She had last been seen leaving the restaurant where she worked just after 9 o'clock the night before she was murdered. Later, it was learned that 21-year-old Lissa had been convinced by Bianchi and Buono to come to their house, where she was then savagely beaten, raped, and strangled. And that would be the house you saw when Mr. Romantic was talking. Rose petals, right?
Champagne glasses.
Yeah. Her naked body had been found in a bush near Chevy Chase Drive in Glendale, near Buono's residence. There was a sizable guardrail between the road and the spot where the body lay. Police estimated it would have taken 2 men to lift the stocky victim over the guardrail.
Especially those 2 pussies.
You got that right.
Weasels.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Since at this point the victims were unidentified and believed to be runaways or prostitutes, police do not yet see a connection between the murders and do not suspect them to be the work of a serial killer. Now, on November 10th, 1977, the nude body of 18-year-old prostitute Jill Barkham, is discovered in Franklin Canyon, north of Beverly Hills. Again, the victim has been placed in plain view as if to taunt the police. Forensic evidence shows she suffered the same fate as the 3 previous victims. So she was strangled to death and raped. November 17th, 1977, the body of 17-year-old high school student Kathleen Robinson is found near Pico Boulevard in Los Angeles, Wilshire area. Surprisingly, the body shows no signs of sexual abuse, but since it does have the same ligature and strangulation marks, she's believed to have fallen prey to the same killers. Now, these girls were found there in November, same areas and same MO, but they weren't Hillside Strangler victims. Jill Barkham, at the time, was thought to be the victim of the Stranglers, but later, another beaut, Rodney Alcala. Remember him?
What an asshole.
The dating game killer.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about a guy slipping through the cracks.
Yeah.
Over and over. But later
Hold on.
Yeah.
Wasn't he creepy as hell on that show?
He's terrible.
Uh-huh.
I don't even know how they could put him on it.
You guys should look that up.
Yeah.
Rodney Alcala, the dating game killer. And you can watch him on this dating game.
Amazing.
And he takes the girl out.
Yeah.
But for a second date,
Forget about it.
forget about it. He creeped her out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gee, I wonder why. Smart girl.
Mm-hmm.
So he confessed later on to the murder. And if anybody knows anything about him, he was slipped through the cracks many times and he was arrested. And then finally they started finding that he was a serial killer and he admitted to this one. But I think at the time, maybe he placed the girl in plain view like that to maybe have the cops think that it's the Hillside Stranglers.
To throw him off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, 17-year-old Kathleen Robinson's case has never been solved. She had all the ligature marks like the Hillside Stranglers, but they could never tie her to it. So this one, it remains an open cold case.
On YouTube, you will see a picture of the apartment building where Christina lived in the apartment next to Bianchi. All right. We're going to pause. We're going to talk about this really quick. You got to have some fucking balls, some fucking cojones to murder somebody who's living right next to you in the same apartment building. These two assholes, they really, really thought they were above the law.
And invincible, uncatchable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, jerk off.
Jerk off.
Anyway, you're going to see pictures, right?
Yes. Of Christina?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not her best moment.
Well, you'll see a picture of her before and then after.
Mm-hmm.
It's terrible.
Pretty girl.
Very.
Yeah. Christina Weckler was the 4th victim of the Hillside Strangler. She died on November 20th, 1977, and was found in a bush in the Highland Park area. Christina was a quiet honor student at the Pasadena Art Center of Design. She lived in an apartment at 809 East Garfield, Apartment E, right next to Bianchi, who lived in Apartment D in the same fucking building. That just...
Oh, I know. Imagine what her parents think.
Yeah. She had written... This is classic.
Yeah.
She had written in her address book, next to his name, Bianchi, reminds me of a used car salesman. Phony, phony, phony.
She couldn't have summed it up better.
Oh, gosh.
I think everybody out there has heard enough about him. They'll agree, right?
Yeah. In all the phone conversations with this asshole that we share, it's just so obvious how phony he is. When he's talking to me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not some broad on the street that he's trying to rape and kill.
Oh, no.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. And what's with that, by the way? Him. Oh, no. He doesn't do it once. He does it like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, it's part of the ruse.
So, an LAPD homicide detective is called to the scene where the decomposing body of 20-year-old Christina Weckler lays nude and covered with ants, in addition to evidence of rape, sodomy, and strangulation. She has small, mysterious puncture marks on her arms. The girl was thought to be a drug addict, but an autopsy revealed that the wounds had occurred while the killers had injected her with Windex. Now, that didn't kill her, right?
No.
I mean, it probably hurt.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, they were experimenting.
Yeah. Dr. Mangala. All right.
Yeah.
Later, it was determined that they had tortured her with gas by putting a bag on her head and pumping natural gas into the bag. Bianchi said it took over an hour for her to die. It was obvious these animals had the torture is tough, really tough.
It is.
You know?
I just can't imagine what those girls went through.
Yeah. But it's obvious, though, that these fucking assholes, they're experimenting. They're turning up the torture.
Yeah.
You know, that they
Certainly are.
inflicted on some of the victims.
Yeah.
Central California's woman's facility.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I met with two of my friends that are there.
Uh-huh.
But I was very disappointed with one of them.
Oh, no.
Yeah, one of the girls is on death row.
Oh, no.
Yeah, she was the first woman put on death row like 21 years ago. Her name is Cynthia Kaufman.
She's not the one that you're disappointed in, is she?
No, she's actually cool. I've seen her twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a nice lady.
Yeah.
But the other one,
Yeah.
her name is Dorothea Puente.
So either one of them.
She's 82 years old.
82 years old. Oh, my Lord.
Mm-hmm. She's in prison for she ran a boarding house.
Yeah.
And she would poison her people.
No.
Yeah, and when they died, she would bury them in her backyard.
How long has she been down?
She's been down 18 years at this prison.
18 years. Wow.
Yeah, and she is one cold-hearted bitch, Ken.
No.
I mean, a rotten lady.
If you're watching on YouTube, and if you're a murder phoniac, and you're not by this time watching us on YouTube, I fucking give up. I mean,
I love you.
the
You
YouTube,
give up?
Yeah, I give up. The YouTube, everybody, is where it happens. All right? It's the place to be. It's the keg party. All right? It's cool. YouTube is the place to be. You only get so much when you listen to us. Although I know our voices are sexy. You're only getting so much of the experience. So, if you're watching on YouTube, the first 2 pictures are of Cindy Kaufman What a real bitch she is. And Dorothea Puente. Oh, gosh. She'll slash your throat, that woman.
Yeah, but Cindy, you said she was nice.
I did say she was nice.
Oh, you were talking to Ken. You don't want to give him a heart attack, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, what is she doing on death row?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's a real bitch.
Yes, she is.
And these pictures were back in 2008 when I went and visited them. Gosh, we visited them a few times.
Yeah, we did.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sonia Johnson was the fifth victim of these two assholes, the Hillside Stranglers. I have trouble talking about these next two. She was 14 years old. Sonia, who was from Eagle Rock and a student at St. Ignatius. Oh, okay. It's a Catholic school.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In Highland Park, had been missing since November 13th. She had gone shopping at the Eagle Rock Plaza. Dolores Dolly Cepeda was the sixth victim of the Hillside Stranglers. She was 12 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm a romantic, remember, as I'm sodomizing and torturing a 12 and 14-year-old.
It's beyond disgusting.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. I'd love to sodomize him with like one of those 12-inch fucking dildos. You know, just...
Yeah.
A witness had seen the girls get off a bus and go over to a large two-tone sedan to talk to someone on the passenger side of the car. A person on the passenger side of the witness car corroborated the theory that there were two men involved, probably the killers. On November 20th, 1977, the bodies of these two little angels, 14-year-old Sonia Johnson and her friend, 12-year-old Dolly Cepeda, were discovered by two little boys. Their bodies had been thrown in a trash dump right off the freeway. Later, it was learned that these two monsters, Bianchi and Buono, had kept these two little girls for a few days and raped and tortured them before they killed them and dumped them like fucking trash.
Central California's women's facility. Yeah, and met with two of my friends that are there. But I was very disappointed with one of them.
Oh, no.
Yeah, one of the girls is on death row.
Oh, no.
Yeah, she was the first woman put on death row like 21 years ago. Her name is Cynthia Kaufman.
She's not the one that you're disappointed in, is she?
No, she's actually cool. I've seen her twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a nice lady.
Yeah.
But the other one, her name is Dorothea Puente.
Either one of them.
She's 82 years old.
82 years old. Oh, my Lord.
She's in prison for she ran a boarding house.
Yeah.
And she would poison her people.
No.
Yeah, and when they died, she would bury them in her backyard.
How long has she been down?
She's been down 18 years at this prison.
18 years.
Yeah, and she is one cold-hearted bitch, Ken.
No.
I mean, a rotten lady.
Ken doesn't know these people. You know, he acts like they're beneath him, like he would never deal with women who could commit murder. Did you hear him? Did you hear that?
Yes, it just shakes my soul.
Ah.
This is the same guy that shot fucking Windex into his neighbor, Christina Weckler, and then put a plastic bag over her head and gassed her to death.
And this is even hard to say. The same guy that kidnapped a 12-year-old and a 14-year-old at the same time, held them captive for 3 days with his piece of shit, skinny fucking asshole, Angelo Buono, cousin, whatever he is. And they raped and they tortured and they raped and they tortured and they raped and they tortured for 3 fucking days. 14 years old, 12 years old. I want you to fucking picture that. I want you to picture that when you hear Bianchi is going up for parole next year. Picture that in your mind, what they fucking did to these 2 beautiful little girls. But to hear Ken, oh no.
No.
What the fuck?
You're thinking about that dildo, aren't you? That's like 12
you know
inches.
what? You know who else
It's about
wanted to?
that thick.
You know
Yeah.
who else wanted to?
No lube.
It's police, Angelo, open up.
Oh, yes.
At that point, Angelo wanted to use that big dildo on his cousin. I
Oh,
guarantee
you
it.
know it.
Guaranteed it.
Grogan. Detective Grogan.
Yes.
Grogan. Right?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, he hates them.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've heard you rant. I love it, though.
I can't help it. I'm sorry. I mean,
Yeah?
you read that and that's fucked up. It's really fucked up.
It is.
There's another detective too that had Shapiro. No, not Shapiro. He's an Italian name. Can't think of his name right now. Same thing. Him and Grogan. They hate him.
They do?
Yeah.
Oh, Salerno?
Salerno. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Good job. Jane Evelyn King. Beautiful girl. 28 years old. Was killed on November 23rd, 1977. She's the 7th victim of the Hillside Stranglers. Her body was found dumped at a southbound off-ramp at the Golden State Freeway. Her maggot-covered body was estimated to have been there for approximately 2 weeks. Jane had been strangled with her own stockings. Although her body is showing signs of decomposition, the now all too familiar bruising and ligature marks are still visible. In 1 week, 1 fucking week, 4 girls' bodies were found, 2 of them children. Near the end of the month, the body count on the hillsides in the Glendale Highland Park area had risen dramatically, since the victims had all been raped, sodomized, and strangled, showing the same ligature marks around the neck, wrists, and ankles, and that they had been meticulously washed and posed at the dump sites. Detectives knew they were investigating the case as serial murder. And it wasn't long before the media began its sensational coverage of the Hillside Strangler case, and panic ensued. Sometime during this month of crazed killings, Catherine Lorre, the daughter of the famed actor Peter Lorre, escaped the Hillside Stranglers. Ms. Lorre was walking home one night in November 1977, and Bianchi and Buono tried to convince Lorre to get in their car, but she refused, telling them she was Peter Lorre's daughter and she certainly hadn't broken the law. This was proven by a photo of her in her wallet sitting on her father's lap. And if you're on YouTube, you'll see that. The serial killers...
Yeah, but if you're not on YouTube...
Yeah, I like it.
Do you like that?
Yes.
Okay.
The serial killers were both fans. I'm sure Peter Lorre would love to hear that. They were fans of Lorre's movies and knew that slaying the daughter of a famous actor would draw too much attention. Miraculously, they let Lorre go that night. After their arrest, Catherine saw them on the news and immediately recognized the two killers, Kenneth Bianchi and Angelo Buono, who became known as the Hillside Stranglers. She identified them as the two men that had posed as undercover police officers in November of 1977 and tried to get her to go with them. Lorre recalled that she hadn't been scared. She hadn't felt scared during the encounter and thought that Bianchi and Buono to be casual and friendly. And this definitely fit their MO, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That's how they got these girls.
Yeah.
We're cops, come with us, you know. Bianchi, Mr. Innocent.
Romantic.
When asked about her identifying him, he said, "Oh, she must have been mistaken." Yeah, right, Ken.
Mm-hmm.
You're on the fucking news. I think she knew who you were.
Mm-hmm.
All right, November is almost over, but the Stranglers aren't done. Take it, Tom.
Lauren Wagner was the 8th victim of the Hillside Strangler. She was 18 years old. She had been a student at Monroe High School in the San Fernando Valley and lived with her parents. Lauren's tortured body was found on Tuesday, November 29th, on the hillside of Mount Washington on Cliff Drive. The moniker Hillside Strangler was dubbed by the press after this victim was found. Burn marks on the palms of her hands led the investigators to believe the killer is now experimenting with more severe methods of torture. Do you think, gosh, all the phone conversations I had with Bianchi, do you think he thought I was an asshole and like I'm pulling wool over this kid's eyes? Do you think he really thought that
I don't think they're capable of thinking like that. They believe their bullshit and they just let it go. Doesn't matter whether you believe him or not. You know, he's just going to keep spewing it.
Yeah. Man, oh man. Bianchi described how they tried to electrocute her. They would tape bare wires. I said that right, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Okay. They would tape bare wires in her hand and then plug it in and out of the electric outlet.
Just a minute. Could you just, think about
these two assholes.
Think about Bianchi. You know, I kept plugging it in. When she'd squirm and jump around, I'd pull it out. Then I'd plug it in, and she'd flip around like a fish. Could you see it? Oh.
You know.
And, he only described that under hypnosis.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Just listening to you do that and everything, I wanted to fucking punch you.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I know.
I wanted to punch you.
Would you like to do it to him?
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
How's it feel, Ken?
I could take him.
Piece of shit. Well, I would hope so.
I could take him.
I would hope so.
I could take him and
He'd be
Angelo.
more like me. He's almost my age now, right?
Yeah.
I think he's 73 or 4. Mm-hmm. I'm 77. I'd take a shot.
Would you?
Yeah, I would. Fuck him.
It'd be great.
Wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm. Her parents had found her car parked across the street from their home with the door ajar. They had gone to bed the previous night, expecting her home before midnight. When her father questioned the neighbors, he found that one neighbor, Beulah Stouffer, who recalled having seen Lauren arguing with 2 men who had driven up to her as she pulled over to the curb. Lauren was forced into the car, which then took off into the night. Why didn't she call the fucking cops?
I was just going to say that. I have a suggestion for you, Beulah. Next time you see a girl being forced into a car by 2 guys, call the police.
Yeah. Get a license plate. Miss Stouffer gave detectives a good description of the 2 men's car, which had been a large, dark automobile with a white top. She described the 2 men. One was older and had bushy hair, while the other was younger and had a pockmarked face. Her description of one of the men led to a sketch that really resembled Bianchi.
Well, it's on YouTube now, and I'd really like you guys to go and check this out, because Bianchi, does it look like him? You're going to see the picture of Bianchi in the sketch, the composite sketch, right next to each other. Does it look like him?
The composite drawer couldn't have done a better job if the asshole was sitting right here at the table with us.
Right. But, and you guys got to look at it, because later on you're going to hear Bianchi talking about, oh, they claimed they had a witness and she was in a house and she was behind screens and down the street. And there's no way, there's just no way she could have identified anybody. Fucking asshole he is. We're back, aren't we?
We're back.
Back to Bianchi.
We're back to Bianchi.
All right.
It took a little bit. I had to get in
your head around it.
My groove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
Okay. The Hillside Stranglers took 6 more girls in the month of November 1977. Lissa Kastin, 21 years old, the 3rd victim, found November 6th. Christina Weckler, 20 years old, the 4th victim, found November 20th. Sonia Johnson, 14. Don't get me going. 14 years old. The 5th victim, found November 20th. Dolores Dolly Cepeda, 12 years old. The 6th victim, found November 20th. Jane King, 28 years old. The 7th victim, found November 23rd. Lauren Wagner, 18 years old. The 8th victim, found November 29th. Well, they were busy, weren't they? Well, they were busy. So, November 20th, they found 3 victims?
Yes. 2 of them being 14 and 12.
Now, the other one, I know the 2 little girls were found together.
The other girl was in the same area, but a ways away.
Okay.
On a different hill. They were in a trash dump. I think she was found on the hillside. I can't remember. There's so many of these. I mean, think about that. Look at that list. No wonder. November.
In 1 month.
Yeah.
So basically, the Hillside Strangler was made up.
No,
I mean-
there apparently is somewheres someone who did these, but that person is not me and it's not Angelo.
Yes, Ken. You and your creepy fucking cousin were and always will be the Hillside Strangler. And during that November nightmare, 1977, the Hillside Stranglers killed 6 more innocent, beautiful girls.
Could I take this?
It's you.
2 of them. 2 of them children, just 12 and 14 years old, that were dumped like garbage in a trash heap. 4 bodies found in 1 week. What the fuck?
You and your cousin. They were animals. Fucking animals.
You know, you and your cousin were worse than animals. Animals kill for a reason, for food or protection, not these fucks. The worst. They may be the worst. This was the worst month I think I can remember ever.
Yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, the older girls, but a lot of them were young.
Yeah.
You know, but there were children there, 12 and 14.
Yeah.
And they kept them a couple days, raped and sodomized them.
It's too much.
How do you rape and sodomize a fucking 12 and 14-year-old girl? And then Bianchi put a garrote around their neck and choked them. Yeah. Yeah.
That.
Choked them till they were dead. And then they went 1, 2, 3, and they threw them in a garbage dump.
Now you guys know why we get so worked up listening to Bianchi's phone calls. And Tony, God bless him, he listened to that, I think, for 6 years.
7 fucking years.
7 years. And every time he got off the phone, he was in a rage. I mean, can you... And these, you're hearing phone clips, guys. These are 20-minute phone conversations.
Of bullshit.
Bullshit.
Yeah, of bullshit.
Yeah.
You know?
Terrible. All right. I've had enough.
I have too. You know that's a wrap, okay? That's a wrap. As always, take care. Stay safe out there, everybody. The world's a tough place right now. A real tough place. All over the world, whatever country you're listening to us in. Stay safe. And remember, always walk in the calm after the storm. Love you.
Love you too, bud.